Benbulben, you see it sometimes Benbulben too. It's a really striking site over in County Sligo, isn't it?
It absolutely is. That very distinctive flat top part of the Dartry Mountains.
Yes, a proper table mountain. It makes it incredibly popular for photographers, I gather. Sort of a must-see if you're in that part of Ireland.
Definitely. And it's not just the look of it, is it? It's how it sort of captures the imagination. There's a real presence to it, deeply tied into the local culture.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's just steeped in all these Irish legends and, folklore. Adds a whole other layer to the beauty.
And the literary connection, too, of
Right,
course.
with William Butler Yeats. He spent childhood holidays nearby.
And he's buried just down the road in Drumcliff Churchyard. That's why people often call it Yeats country.
You do wonder if the landscape itself sort of seeped into his poetry.
It seems very likely, doesn't it? Especially with his interest in Irish legends. But the mountain's own story, well, it goes back much, much further, geologically speaking.
We're talking, what, 320 million years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Around that, yes. It actually started forming in a shallow sea.
Incredible. So layers of sediment building up over just vast amounts of time.
Precisely. Forming the Dartry Mountains. You've got the Dartry limestone, that's the upper, thicker layer.
And below that?
Below that is the Glencar limestone, which is thinner. And then mudstone down on the lower slopes.
And the really fascinating thing is finding fossils, right? Throughout all the layers.
Yes, exactly. Seashells, bits of coral, particularly in those lower sections. It's a direct link back to that ancient sea, like holding a piece of history.
It really makes you think about how landscapes change. Now, thinking about actually getting up there, climbing it, it sounds like it varies quite a bit.
Oh, very much so. The northern face catches all the Atlantic wind and storms. It's known to be quite dangerous, really not for the inexperienced.
But the other side,
The southern slope is much more accessible, a much easier climb.
and the views from the top must be worth it, looking out over the Atlantic and the Sligo coastline.
Spectacular views, yes, but you don't have to climb right to the top for a good experience. There's a paved path near the Leitrim border.
Ah, the one heading towards Glencar Waterfall.
That's the one. Very pleasant. Or there's the Gartrowie Walk. That's about 5.5 kilometers.
Through the forest.
Yes, takes maybe an hour and a half. You get lovely views of Benbulben itself and across the Donegal Day, too.
And ecologically, Benbulben's quite special for Ireland, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's the only place in the country where you find Arctic alpine plants growing naturally, right up on the cooler summit.
A legacy of the Ice Age, I understand, when the glaciers melted.
Exactly. That glacial retreat left behind this unique little microclimate, perfect for these cold-loving plants. It's like a tiny pocket of the Arctic.
Amazing. And there's wildlife, too. Hares, foxes.
They roam the mountain. And some of those plants are incredibly old survivors, like the fringed sandwort.
Fringe sandwort.
Yes, it's a plant that actually survived the Ice Age era. It could date back perhaps 100,000 years. A living relic, really.
Incredible. Just shows nature's resilience. Now, shifting focus a bit, what about those legends you mentioned? It's tied to the Fianna, isn't it?
That's right. Said to be one of their main hunting grounds back in the 3rd century.
And the story of Diarmuid Uda Dubne?
Ah, yes, the famous tale. He outsmarts Finn McCumhale for ages, but meets his end on Benbulben, killed by an enchanted boar.
A tragic end. There's another Finn McCumhale story linked to it, too.
Yes, the legend says he found his long-lost son, Oisin, on the slopes of Benbulben. These tales really embed the mountain in Irish mythology.
And it's not just ancient myths, there's evidence of more recent activity, too, like old mine entrances.
That's right, openings for an old barite mine. And there's also an old-school building.
With a cave behind it.
Yes, and local lore claims that's where Diarmuid and Grain spent their last night together. Whether true or not, it adds to the mystique.
Geographically, all the water running off it forms streams.
Which feed into the Grange River, yes. That then flows out to the sea at Grangetown.
Important to remember, though, if you're exploring, much of the land is private.
Absolutely. Respecting property is key when you're walking around there.
Now, nearby there's also Mullimore Village. And that very distinctive castle, Classybon Castle.
A real landmark. Striking building. It's privately owned now, so you can't tour it, unfortunately.
Built in the 19th century, wasn't it? Though the estate's older.
The estate goes back to 1784, yes. But the castle itself is later. Lord Mountbatten made quite a few improvements in the 1930s, electricity, running water, that sort of thing.
And tragically, it's also where he died in 1979.
Indeed. A very sad event connected to the place.
And then, just completing the circle, Really, Drumcliff Village is close by too.
where Yeats is buried. It ties the landscape, the history, the legends, and the literature all together in one small area. It's quite remarkable.
It truly is. If finding out more about Ireland's incredible beauty and its fascinating stories appeals to you, do consider subscribing to our Love Ireland newsletter.
Absolutely. And, thinking about Benbulben with its layers of rock holding millions of years of history and the layers of legend built upon that, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other natural landmarks out there hold similar depth, similar stories, just waiting for us to notice them?